Hey everyone, it's been getting a little bit cooler around here in the Pacific Northwest, signals that summer is dead and dying. So, since fall is coming up, I've started looking at my fragrances and I'm looking at the ones that I want to wear the most for fall and winter. I'm going to share those with you today. Stay tuned. This is an unordered list. I'm just kind of going through. Maybe in the future I will do a list of the most fall or winter fragrances, but in this case I just kind of looked through and I'm like, I really can't wait to wear that. And the reason I haven't really worn them in the summertime usually has to do with either strength or just kind of the scent profile and what's appropriate. Summertime, usually you're looking for something that's a little bit fresher or refreshing. Something's usually citrus dominant. In the wintertime, I'm looking for something maybe a little bit sweeter, a little bit spicier. So that is going to lead me with the first one, which is a classic, modern classic, I guess. Hugo Boss Bottled EDP. So this one is one that people kind of skip over. I feel like they talk about the EDT a lot. And this one to me actually, I feel like is what, when people are talking about the EDT, I feel like this is what they're actually talking about. This one to me smells much more like a spiced apple pie than the original EDT. The original EDT, I get kind of that fictional note of plum more. Kind of smells like 1998's idea of the future. If you want to hear me talk about it more, I have a video that I did about Hugo Boss and Ferrari, because they have a Ferrari clone Hugo Boss. Anyway, this fragrance itself is a sweet, delightful fragrance, very much an apple pie to me. Like I said, I don't get that from the original, but this one I do. So if you're looking for something in the fall that kind of is evocative of a spiced pumpkin pie or apple pie, Hugo Boss Bottled is great. It's got that cinnamon in it. Yeah, it's sweet. It's just, I'm surprised I don't hear people talk about this more, because it really is a delightful fragrance. Okay, so I recommend that one straight up. The other thing I'll say, I have a mixture here of clones, and there's one, I have one niche fragrance. I have one niche fragrance, clones, and then a couple designer fragrances. And I will say my recommendations pretty much universally, if it's a clone, I usually say blind buy it, because you can't really sample clones, and the point of clones I feel like is discovery in part. So, but if it's a niche product or even a designer product, I say sample it first, especially because the designers, I feel like, get a little big for their britches. I feel like the designer fragrances have been overcharging for what they are. That being said, number 2 on my list is going to be a designer fragrance. It is a Middle Eastern exclusive though, and it's probably one of the least ones talked about in that line, but it is Dolce & Gabbana's The One Mysterious Night. This fragrance is one of the strongest fragrances I own. It is a rose and incense bomb. I can't imagine wearing this anytime but the fall or the winter, because this is gonna cut through the cold. It is a very lovely, rich smell, like very rich, very dense. So you kind of need the cold to cut the edge off of it a little bit. But that being said, once you're inside, it's not gonna take much. I feel like this will fill a room pretty easily, so I would go easy on it. That being said, I didn't really get a chance to wear this that much last fall, so I'm looking forward to giving it some more runs this fall and winter, getting to know it a little bit more. It's very strong on paper, on skin, same thing, but it's gonna be a little bit different, and I wanna experience it that way a little bit more. So, Dolce & Gabbana's The One Mysterious Night. The only one from this line, I still need to get One Luminous Night, which is apparently everyone's favorite. It's the only one I'm missing, and it hasn't come back into stock anywhere online, so. But I'm looking forward to trying that one as well. Next up is gonna be one that is kind of a current favorite of mine. Again, I sing the praises of Paris Corner a lot, and I think that's just because with the 2 examples I have from them, I've been extremely pleased. In this case, that is going to be Amir's Vibrant Spicy Tobacco. That's right. Vibrant Spicy Tobacco. That is a clone of Tobacco Mandarin by Byredo. I have another video where I talked about this one, but I think this is just one of the sexiest DNAs that you can have in a fragrance. The like heavy dose of burnt tobacco, the sweetness, kind of syrupiness of the mandarin, and then you have this layer of cumin underneath it. Kind of gives it this funk. And in this particular clone, that's a little bit different from the original, they amp up the kind of dirty smokiness of the tobacco and also the leather. I feel like there's a stronger leather note in this, in the base. So that being said, it's still very close to the original DNA profile, and if anything, it feels like it's more of a twist, but still very, very close. So if you want to scratch that itch, you don't have $350 to drop on mandarin tobacco like me, because I don't have that kind of money, then this is a great option. It's like 40 bucks. And no one talks about this one either, but this is such an interesting scent DNA. And everyone that I introduce this to, they always, like, their first take is maybe a little bit of shock, but then they come back to it and they're like, the more time they spend with it, you know, 20 minutes later, like, I can't stop smelling it. I really like the smell. So this is one of those things that people smell and they get kind of addicted to as time goes on. I recommend this one very highly. That's Amir's Vibrant Spicy Tobacco. It's kind of an unordered list, but it just turns out that the bottom four, while I'm looking forward to wearing all of these, but the bottom four are the ones that I'm less looking forward to compared to the top four. So rounding out the bottom four is a fan favorite everyone loves, that I'm still kind of growing on, or is growing on me, I guess, and that's La Nuit de l'Homme Bleu Electrique by YSL, Yves Saint Laurent. So this one is, as everyone says, it's kind of it's like the original, apparently, just repackaged into a Bleu Electrique bottle. So if you want the original formulation of the original La Nuit de l'Homme, then apparently this is very close. I've talked about it before. Cardamom is a very interesting note for me. I call it Diet Nutmeg because it seems like a more smoothed out version of nutmeg. And it is a very beautiful note. I just have some association with it that I'm still trying to wrap my brain around. I smell this and I'm in the 90s. I love the 90s. It's just a weird association. I feel like I'm in the 90s at night, which, you know, this is maybe the best fragrance for that because it's Night of the Electric Blue Man. This is just this to me is a huge cardamom bomb. I know there's other notes in it, but I really get the cardamom strongly. This seems like a date night fragrance to me. And yeah, I mean, this feels like you want to wear this on a cool, dark evening. So as soon as it's like dark at 4:30 in the afternoon, which it gets around here up in the Pacific Northwest, Bleu Electrique feels like it'd be kind of a perfect fragrance for that. I'll be busting it out a lot more too. Again, this is one of the ones I think I picked up. Couldn't really wear it a lot last fall and winter, so here we go. All right, here we go, the next one up. The bottle, unfortunately, I have the broken feature on the outside, but that is Armaf's Club de Nuit Intense for women of the original line. That one, this is a clone of Noir de Noir by Tom Ford. And this one probably doesn't get as much love in the line as it should. This is close to, if not my favorite in the line. And it's just this rich, chocolatey patchouli scent. And as I've mentioned elsewhere, I'm kind of digging patchouli right now, and I think this is just such an interesting direction that you can take patchouli in this like very chocolatey route. But it doesn't just smell like a chocolate cake, you know, it's got these spices and the rich florals, very dark, very dense. And so it comes across like very luxurious, elegant, chocolatey scent almost. Again, just because I think of the season, with this one being the kind of profile that it is, better suited for the winter and the fall, though I will say I do wear this one sometimes in the evenings if it's cooler, just because it's such a beautiful scent. If you haven't smelled it, I really highly recommend it. It's also like one of the cheaper ones that you can get in the line. I think it's between $20 and $30. And if you put it side by side with Noir de Noir, it's very close. So highly recommend this one. It's probably one of the ones I recommend the most just because I feel like the value for the quality that you're getting in this particular line with this particular scent is amazing. Check it out. All right, next up has to be one of the all-time greatest values in FragCom. And the way that I classify value is the cost with the quality. You know, with those two things, if you have a low cost and a high quality, then you've got a really great value. In this case, you have one of the lowest costs and one of the highest qualities. This is a monster of a performer. It's Haramain's Detour Noir, and this one is a clone of PDM, Parfum de Marly's Leighton. I have smelled Leighton before. This does seem staggeringly close to it, but even before I had ever smelled Leighton, when I'd only smelled this, I was stunned by just how addictive and amazing the scent is. And it comes in also one of the most hilariously silly bottles. The cap is so cheap, it's already like kind of chipped off for me here, you can kind of see. But that's fine, because I can get a new one for $20. This is so cheap, and it smells so pickin' good. Rich, spicy, I don't even know what the heck that, like, is it almonds? Well, like, what is it that I'm, powdery vanilla, wooden, yeah, almond, musk, sandalwood, heliotrope. It's just like a really spicy, rich, creamy scent. And it lasts a really long time too. For the price, this makes no sense. This is a great fall, winter. I think just because of the spice, I feel like this is much better suited for fall and winter. I don't know if there are rules on Leighton, but man, I have to admit, even though I do think this is really designed for fall and winter, I do occasionally sneak shots of it just because I just love the scent profile so much and I want to smell it. I can't wait for only fall and winter on it. All right, rounding out with the final two, I will say these two do not smell the same. They smell quite a bit different, but they kind of fit a similar space. So I would wear them in similar situations. That being said, I'm gonna wear both of these a lot come fall and winter. First off, we'll start out with this mega hype beast in the fragrance community. That's Khamrah by Lattafa. I have never smelled Angel Share, which is what this is based on. What I can say about this is again, like Detour Noir, this is probably one of the best values that I have. I think I paid like 30 bucks, something like that, for this bottle. It's 100 milliliters. It is a monster, lasts all day, and the scent is just absolutely stunning. It's just this like spicy, dry fruits. There's booze in it. It's very sweet, syrupy. It smells like fruitcake. It smells like Thanksgiving. It smells like Christmas. It's got the attention of this yellow jacket. You know, it's got this like strong boozy note to it. Maybe even like a little bit of apple cider. And a yellow jacket that just will not leave me alone. I love this one a lot though. I love how long it lasts. This is kind of the scent that I'll probably be wearing around Thanksgiving. It just feels like that to me. The rich spices, the sweetness, it just feels very transportive. Like, I feel like when you smell this one, it'll put you into just a nice armchair. You're feeling full from Thanksgiving dinner. You smell the apple pie in the air. Someone's making some pumpkin spice latte over in the corner. It's just where you want to be, and this is the smell of that. So I recommend it if you don't already know about Khamrah, if you don't already have this one. This is one that I feel perfectly safe telling you to blind buy because it's not that expensive and you are going to love the smell of it. I can't speak to the closeness with the to Angel Share. I've heard that it's very close, but I can't speak to that because I've never smelled Angel Share. If this is what Angel Share smells like by Killian, then congratulations to them because it's a great DNA. I love it. Pick up a bottle. All right, rounding it out is one of my favorite, I think I would call this a novelty fragrance almost because it's got such a deliberate scent profile, and that is Tonka Cola by Mancera. This one is very much a cherry cola. It's such a beautiful scent though. Kind of like Khamrah, it has those like rich, sweet spices in it. but this one has a much more photorealistic cherry cola vibe to it, almost like gummy Coke bottles. If you've ever had those like Haribo gummy Coke bottles, that's what you get a lot out of it. This, I love this one a lot. This one is not strictly fall and winter. I think it's got enough citruses and stuff that you can get away with it elsewhere, but it is very sweet. Might come off a little bit strong in the summertime, though this is actually one of my favorite fragrances to wear if I'm going to the movies. I feel like it's a perfect fragrance for in the theater. You smell like a cherry cola with maybe a little bit of extra spice. Oh, it's just addictively sweet. Yeah, I love this one a lot. You do get the orange and the lemon up top. And then just that cola, and I love cola. I'm a sucker, so I buy anything that I see has a cola note or something that people are like, oh, it reminds me of cola. I'll usually like put that on my list and pick it up. This one, I was worried that it wasn't gonna come over to the United States. It was taking forever. So I actually imported it from Belgium because I didn't want to risk not getting a bottle. It's here now. I highly recommend it. I think it's a really fun fragrance. So if you don't take it too seriously, if you're just kind of in this for fun, then this is a great fragrance for you. If you're on a mission to drop panties or something like that, then maybe, I don't know, this isn't gonna be the thing for you. But as someone who just wants to smell good and enjoy what they smell as they're wearing it, Tonka Cola is one of the best. That's why I put it at number one. I think this is probably one of the most fun fragrances that I own, by which it means just more than just smelling good. It's about like kind of enjoying the smell at the same time. Recommend it if you can. Get a sample if you can. Otherwise, man, I'm really looking forward to fall and winter. Guys, drop some comments. Let me know what you're looking forward to most wearing. If you're not already wearing it, if it's cold where you live, let me know so I can check it out. If I'm not already aware of it, I'm still discovering lots. So I need people to guide me. If you have pro tips, let me know. Anyway, thanks for joining me, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye.